Now, one of the busiest recipes over on my website at this time of year is cassis, or blackcurrant liqueur. And I guess it's hardly surprising because A, it's so easy to make, and B, it tastes sublime. Actually, just one moment, please. I kind of feel like we might need a prop for this video. I can't remember how many bottles I made last year. Certainly more than one, and that's all that's left, which actually is pretty good going. We don't always have this much left. It's just like an alcoholic Ribena. I mean, what's not to love about that? It's syrupy, it's sweet, but it's got that blackcurrant tang that almost makes you go a bit winky. Oh, it's really good. Anyway, if you're lucky enough to have a blackcurrant bush in your garden or in your allotment, then stay tuned because you need this recipe. Oh, and by the way, if you do have a stash of blackcurrants to hand and you've got enough, then please make extra because this stuff makes the best Christmas presents. Oh my gosh, people go nuts for this and they actually start requesting it year after year. So bear that in mind. It makes a really cheap gift that people absolutely adore. Now, this little blackcurrant patch has been a gold mine this year. There's only half a dozen bushes or so, but they've been so heavy with fruit to the point that several branches have ended up on the floor because they're too heavy to stay upright. And I'm not sure what variety these currants are, but the fruits are huge and really sweet. Blackcurrants generally are too sour for me to eat straight from the bush, like without covering in sugar first, but these ones are so sweet. I often just grab a handful as I'm passing and kind of scoff them like strawberries. Now, to make cassis, and don't worry, the recipe is coming up. I just like to take you on a little wander before you actually get to the recipe. So you need to mix the blackcurrants with sugar and brandy, and then you need to let that sit together to steep for at least 1 month, but ideally, if you have time, 3 or even 4 months. At that point, you can simply pour it all through a sieve that's lined with muslin into a great big clean bowl, and then decant it into sterile bottles and put away for the winter. Don't forget to label those bottles, and then you can lay them down in the back of a cupboard or in the pantry until you're ready to indulge or to give them away. Just very quickly, I want to take you into the chicken run, as these are the blackcurrants I'm most used to making cassis with. And as you can see, the difference in size between these two different varieties is quite something. These small ones are really sharp, and there's no way I could just pop these in my mouth like strawberries, even though the chickens seem to adore them. When you get your goodies home, sort through them and remove any twigs or debris, leaves or bugs. You can wash them if you feel they need it, then just simply lay them out on a clean tea towel to dry. Measure out your currants, and having digital scales is a must for a job like this. Then add your sugar and the brandy. Now, if you're a brandy snob, please feel free to use your top-notch stuff, but I'm not, and to be honest, with all this sugar and flavour, I really think it's unlikely you're going to be able to tell the difference. So yes, I use the cheapest supermarket brandy that I can possibly find. Finally, don't forget to make a note on the jar of what's inside and make a note in your diary, like I say, from 1 month to 4 months' time to remind you that it's ready to strain and bottle and drink. So I have now made my single batch, and I'm just looking at all that wasted space in this jar, and I think with the black currants that I've got left in the basket and the few that are left on the bushes, I think I might have enough to do another batch, you know, just for economy's sake. Now I'm going to pop a link down below, which is to the original blog post that I wrote way back in the dark ages over on my site. So if you want all the measurements that I use, then just pop over there and you'll get the full written recipe. You can also print it out. It's dead easy to use. So feel free to go and grab that. And if you do give this recipe a go, then please share photos with me. Tag me on social media, whichever channel you're on. You can find me pretty much everywhere as @Hedgecomber. So come and say hi. It'd be lovely to see your pics. And then I reckon in about 3 or 4 months' time, I think we should have a virtual cassis party together. What do you reckon? Sound good? Right, that's it for today, lovely people. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I hope you're all safe and sound out there. And as always, I look forward to catching up with you all in the comments. Until next week, lovely friends, take care, over and out.